Alright, it's Tim. Well, I got the winch mounted and I just kind of threw the plastic on, just like loosely, just for a second, just to see how it was gonna, how the winch was gonna fit, and also about how it's gonna look. I went in and bought them 2-inch wheel spacers. So right now you're probably gonna get mud on you just riding, and then with 2 inches you definitely will. I hadn't done the front guard yet. I'm gonna take the plastic off in just a second, but I hadn't done the front guard, and I guess I'm gonna need to do it and put it back on there and all, but it looks pretty decent to me, you know, the way everything turned out with the winch. I hadn't get it hooked up, so I can't reel it back in. The seat's about the only thing that's correct as far as where everything, the placement's gonna be. It's kind of, nothing's bolted on. None of the front rack I got it bolted, but the back rack, it's not bolted or anything. So anyway, now I'm just kind of thinking about whether or not I want to buy plastic for the front. The back I can live with. I can sand that. It's not really busted anywhere. I can live with it. And see, plus I always have that rack pack deal on the back and all. But the front, it did have a snorkel on it. There's your snorkel hole. And it also had another hole somewhere right there. So yep, so now I'm just debating on the plastic. Cheap Cycle Parts has got it for like $165 each piece, and it only shows it in orange though, so I might call them in the morning and see if I can get it in red, and I might go ahead and order it. I hadn't made my mind up, but I like the way the stance and all of it. I think it looks pretty tough to me, you know. So, but let me take this off and I'll show you the winch. Hang on a second. Oh, anyway, this is the jack that I used when I was setting the suspension up. I'd get it and chain around the frame and lift up on it where I could easily take my bolts out without them being in a bind. And let me just take this front plastic off and show you how the winch and all will go on. It was pretty much straightforward. The only thing I really had problems with was one of the front pieces that didn't really want to go all the way down. But it wasn't nothing major. But the only thing I didn't really like about this setup was that it kind of gets in conflict with your wiring harnesses, because see, they're all going to mount along here. I hadn't get y'all enough light, but see where it mounts. This is your plate. This is what comes with it. It comes all the way across to there, you know. Well, your harnesses are all supposed to plug nice and neat in on that little deal there, but once you put that there, they just about don't have enough room. I just leave them like that. Heck with it, you know. But it was pretty much, you take your front rack bolts off, these here, you take them off, and it said discard them, and you're going to use these new ones. Then you mounted your winch onto the plate, and then you came in here and mounted these 2 bolts, and then you came up here and you've got this U-clamp deal that comes around your frame. It's got a spacer right here and like a 3-inch bolt, and then you got one of these lock nuts, and it came through. So that's got your your top all held. That's kind of your midpoint. So you did this on both sides, and then you come up here and you had this bracket. This is where I had the problem, because this didn't want to match up with this, and they'll give you like a 1-inch bolt or so, and it was kind of hard to get your thread started, because then you get this other U-clamp that came around here, and then you just put your fair lead. You find your fair lead up here on the front, and you did have to take the bottom roller loose to get your clamp. That's just minus the hook. Well, battery's dead. Anyway, so that's pretty much it. I think it looks pretty good, and give me a couple of days and I'll have it all back together. But still trying to figure out whether I want to get the new plastic or not. But anyway, I think it looks pretty good with the winch on there. Hopefully I don't ever have to use it that much. Other than pulling other people out, that'd be okay. Alright.